Sandy? Hi, how are you? How you doing? You see,
Anything,
oh, that's what I was going to talk about. That. If you wanted to see, I heard that they want to make it like a commercial kitchen. Commercial kitchen.
not just eating equipment or
Yeah, so, yeah, that's right, exactly, just the $81,000, it's not gonna just heat stuff.
no, it's a commercial, almost upgraded kitchen to it. It's considered commercial. Or stove in the house. It's the brain, forgot the brain, but one of the things called commercial kitchen. They make the same one. They call it commercial kitchen. They serve it. Otherwise they lose
It was the money, $81,300 something dollars.
another thing now they can find out. They serve the contract.
Well, I have no idea, I don't know. We gotta ask. Yeah, we gotta ask, you know?
Official, but.
Pretty much.
I know that there is something about a commercial kitchen, which is good. I would like to see a grill, a good grill there, so we can make pancakes for the seniors. You know, I'll cook them.
Yeah. Well, it has to be whatever it has to be the most important. Okay, you can do it in the commercial.
Down south or
This is must cover
You know what? They're not talking to anybody. Whatever's doing it is the DPW.
Paul, did I tell you our defense is overrated? Hey, how are you? We just had that conversation and then they blow the overtime.
Merry Christmas, Marcy.
Hello, David. Last time I saw you was in the ballroom at the. Exactly. Like crowd tonight. Where's everyone?
Thank you for letting us know. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming. No, I wasn't. Okay, all right. I did. It's fine.
Full family of friendship, whatever, is, that's a huge hit. Nobody realizes what a hit that is.
You're not staying?
Change your mind?
See you, because I'm usually bugging Steve these
That's
days.
okay. I know. Sometimes I hear your voice across the hall from inside. See, you can't see me in my office, but sometimes I hear your voice. I'm like, it's funny. I saw another person another resident that I haven't seen in years. She came to the window. Good to see you. And she came. She goes, "Oh my gosh, Laura!" You know, like when you don't see somebody for a while. You know, so it's good. It's good. All good. Things are good. Boys are getting big. Yeah, I have an almost 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. I know. They got big so fast. I know that my oldest is turning 9 in 2 weeks, so like right before Christmas. So I'm like, it's crazy. It's good. It's all fun times. I know. I was telling everybody all the craziness I do for Christmas because it's just, the magic right now. So they're at those perfect ages. So, and before you know it, they're grown up and getting awards by the mayor and council. So you never know.
College, you know?
So
All
yeah,
good.
yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Hey, Tom, Bill Bailey, nice to meet you.
Tom, how are you?
Congratulations.
Thank you. You too. Well, I've seen you already, so. Yeah. What's on, dude? How are you? Good.
John, how are you? Good. Who's the mayor? Yeah? I didn't, closed sessions usually, We got a lot on our plate. Yeah, I know that. Believe me, I know that. You ready? I don't know. Mayor, hey, I wrote down some words that we can probably just frame language for what you talk, right? Yeah. I don't off the top of my head. Hey, Mac. All right, buddy. Good luck with everything. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. All right? Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly ask everybody to turn off their phones before we do the council meeting because it interferes with the cameras. The exception being if the teenagers want to take some photographs.
You guys are lucky you got special dispensation. Have your phone on. All right, Maggie, John gets all set. Okay, good evening, everybody. Sorry we're a little late getting out of closed session. This meeting was originally called to order at 6:30 p.m. The council entered executive session to talk about various matters, including professionals and personnel. Just for the public's edification, this notice of this meeting was published in official newspapers and prominently posted in Borough Hall, filed with the municipal clerk in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act. We'll start with a Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Matt Tina, would you be so kind as to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Laura, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Coast,
Here.
Carnival,
Here.
Mr. Staff,
Here.
Cassian,
Here.
Mr. Kearns,
Here.
Mr. Gullo,
Here.
Ms. Sarah.
Here.
All right, first thing we have tonight is presentation and certificate of resignation. Sorry. Recognition. Busy month. And this is for Mr. Matthew Tina, who ran in this year's New York City Marathon and used that adventure to raise funds for advancing cancer research, and was a member of Team Tackle Kids Cancer. The team overall raised a total of just under $210,000. And it was the highest fundraising total for Tackle Kids Cancer since it was founded in 2015. All the funds were donated to the Children's Cancer Institute at Hackensack Meridian Health Center for research and to support families whose children have pediatric cancer. Thanks to the donations of many Oradell residents and small businesses, Matt was able to raise personally $15,783. The entire team of the Tackle Kids Cancer crossed the finish line, and Matt completed the race with a time of 2 hours and 44 minutes flat. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. Last but not least, Matt placed 599 out of 55,646 finishers, not participants, finishers of the race. Matt, extraordinary effort on your part to help raise funds and use your running in the 2024 New York City Marathon to help a local health institution support such a worthy cause. Your extraordinary effort along those lines is so noted, and we have prepared a certificate of recognition for you that I'd love to present to you. And if your folks would love to come up, we'd take a few pictures. And of course, if you have any words that you'd like to share, the microphone can be all yours.
No, you can go. You go there.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Matt.
And you can put your cell phone on too. Go ahead.
I was just say thank you to the Mayor and Council for having me and my family here. It's truly an honor, and I'm just happy to be here for this great honor. This was all made possible by the efforts of so many people that I'd like to thank. Mr. Joseph Sanzeri for giving me a marathon opportunity to run in, I think, the biggest race in the whole world, in this opportunity in the city. I also want to thank the Tackle Kids Cancer team for their friendship and their partnership for making all this possible, and for raising all the funds to help the children who need the most help with these diseases that need the most care. And of Oradell, this great town of Oradell, the residents, the small businesses for contributing, and also for their support for helping me reach the goal that I raised and that I hit. And I want to thank the Mayor and Council for this recognition, honor, and again for having me and my family here. It's great. It's great to be here. And my parents for their love and support, and just for their guidance every day throughout my training, throughout my fundraising efforts. And I want to thank God for His blessing. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Matt, if you want to hang here for just 1 minute, I want to present this certificate of recognition to you and just read a few words from it. This honor is bestowed upon Matthew Tina in recognition for outstanding fundraising efforts benefiting Tackle Kids Cancer through his running in the New York City Marathon. Presented by the Oradell Mayor and Council on this 10th day of December, 2024. Matt, congratulations.
He wants you in front of him.
Yeah, much better.
Now we hear you. And you too.
Really, Mahek?
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Patty, congratulations.
I see you every day. So congrats. Your hard work paid off. Thank you.
Hey, buddy, congratulations.
No, I don't yell. I'm just watching all day long about making some calls.
Nice job, thank you.
Thank you, happy holidays.
Yeah, same to you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Congratulations.
As he stops almost every morning on my front step to take a break in his training, we're very proud of you. Congratulations.
Okay, next item on the agenda is discussion items. Any member of the council have discussion item they'd like to raise? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Any member of the council have old business that we need to discuss?
Mayor, I had sent an email to Dave asking for an update on the Lotus Woods project.
Sure. So we're in the process of getting a pre-app meeting with the DEP due to the environmental constraints in the area, so we can get a fine-tuned idea of what we can and can't do for that project. And to get that set up, we get a clear understanding of what to allow us to do, get a formalized proposal for our overall scope, and get the scope along on that.
Do we have any timing as to when the work can actually begin?
Well, we'll have to get permits from the DEP. Permitting process can take up to 6 months roughly. And then we'll have to get wetlands permits. Unfortunately, there's no timetable on the wetland permits, so our experience lately has been a little bit lag on the state side, so I can't tell you exactly when, but until the permits are in place, that work can't start.
Okay. And there's no risk in terms of the availability of the grant dollars?
We'll have to work with Green Acres. I mean, they understand what's there, and maybe they'll help put some pressure on that agency, being that they're in the same building, to kind of help move it along.
But they won't come back and say it's been X amount of time since you've been awarded the grant. And they understand that this is going to be a long process.
I know we spoke to them originally about it, that we were going to be dealing with the DP for the permitting side of it, so they were aware of that. So
okay. Right. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other member of the council have old business they'd like to discuss? Ed, we have not, or have we received a letter from the county's Open Space Trust Fund regarding our application earlier this year for extending the walkway around the perimeter of the DPAC facility? Have we received correspondence from them as to the award?
I have not.
Okay. So it should be forthcoming. I believe we made an ask that was much larger than what we received, but I believe the borough has been awarded by the county commissioners approximately $85,000 towards that project, and that's to complete the walkway around the perimeter of the field, where currently two sides, it's an overgrown forest that people are negotiating to be able to get to the rear field to watch t-ball games, soccer games, and the like. So we'll be talking about that at an upcoming meeting. And Dave, that's going to be something that, along with some of the other capital projects we're trying to get in gear, we're going to want this in the same boat as that. So
yeah, and it may behoove us, not to cut you off, it may behoove us to talk to the DP regarding that one as well, because we'll have to deal with them on that as well due to the brook that's over there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Okay. Any other new business to be raised before the council?
You know what, since we're talking about grant awards, the borough did receive the FY25 NJDOT Municipal Aid Grant for Midland Ave, which will be Section 2 of it. We haven't done Section 1 yet, but the grant amount for the FY25 is $171,045. For a total grant amount with the FY24 grant that we got for $316,442.
So, Dave, can you work on preparing your scope to conduct the drawings and construction inspection for that road for the council to consider at our upcoming meeting? We just completed all this paving with PS in the fall. I'd like to follow through on our second wave for the spring, and I'd like to talk about what the borough's responsibilities are on some of the streets we need to pave, Midland being one. We have a substantial grant now, thanks to your efforts, as well as our grant writer, but that's also a street that PSE&G turned into a minefield. So
correct.
I have to say it's probably one of the worst streets in town right now.
And it was prior to PSE&G getting in there, it was obviously on our radar and was a priority street.
Yep. So
yep.
The moons are in alignment for us to move this project ahead in 2025. So
it might even be in better condition now that PSE&G put some asphalt down on it.
You may have a point. Any other new business before the council? If not, I'll entertain a motion to open the public comment on non-agenda items only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is now open to the public for non-agenda items.
Good evening, Paul Atsunis. The support for the amendment to the fair share housing has now expanded to 65 towns. So we're kind of snowballing then, and I commend you, Mayor, and the council for supporting this. Probably this is the most important issue for Oradell right now, that we can change this. On 420 Kinderkamack Road development, this is a project that seems that it's going to define Oradell. And it's going to be a big project, and that's what they're trying to do. I think that it's too big, and I think that we should cut the units from 44 in half and eliminate underground parking. And that would be going a long way to satisfying a project there. The other one on the 90 Kinderkamack Road project, it needs to rid itself of the warehouse look and change the street elevation and entrances with windows and for the pedestrian area. And the look of it is a lot to change there. With all the face brick, we need more windows. The other thing is about trees. Now, I've seen this is not only in this project, other projects too. They try to eliminate trees, and then they want to plant more trees, and they're going to knock them down. But the problem is that the trees that are there are tall trees. They're better trees. And we shouldn't be eliminating those trees. We can add to trees to that buffer zone. Adding trees is good, and not take away trees. We should leave them there. The other project here that, where was it? Oh, there's something here about I wanted to talk about the DPW recycling area. I've noticed that the swap shop is gone. There's no swap shop stuff there, and I don't know where it is, and I don't know if it was all thrown out or what. And also the bin for paper. People are putting cardboard in there, and they're stuffing it, and so it builds up, and so we have to make more trips to get rid of the paper because there's cardboard in there and boxes, and we have to monitor this stuff somehow. When I go over there, I try to take some of it out, and I bring it over to the cardboard thing, and I crush it myself. But I don't know. It's gone. We have to educate the people on how to use a recycling center. Also, the metal bin that we have, people are putting all kinds of things in there. They're putting electrical things in there, garbage, all kinds of stuff. It's, I guess, because nobody's there to watch it. So we have to address that. The other thing is the seniors are anxiously awaiting the renovation of the kitchen at our senior building, and we are hoping to have a celebration pancake breakfast there one day, and hopefully that we can get some information tonight on the progress of the kitchen, and also if there's any information on the legislation that we're trying to amend. I'd like to know if there's any update on that. And that's basically it.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Anyone else for public comment on non-agenda items only?
Katzin. Good evening, Council. Good evening, Mayor. Holiday season, so happy holidays to all. I'd like to start related to the holidays. In the last November meeting, they mentioned, but I did not hear it confirmed, about the menorah lighting on the 30th, I believe. That is really 2 days before the end of Hanukkah. And if the town wants, the council wants, Rabbi Newbert from Fairlawn is willing to come over here on the 26th, Thursday, the 26th. It's a second candle, and light up the menorah in case the other rabbi cannot do it on that day. So he'll be willing to come over on the 26th and do that in town. So that's related to the holidays. Okay, a few thank yous, because we only had one meeting in November, one meeting in December. A few thank yous. First of all, it's an old thank you about the Oradell Family Days for those who organize, the mayor with the parade, the recreation committees, Councilman Gallo, and everyone who organized. Tina, of course, from the recreation department, DPW people who did an excellent job. As someone who participated, I know Roger did too, and so did Tom. It really went well, and the participation was great. The attendance was good, and I'd like to thank the organizers for doing a great job, and of course the OPTV, who filmed the events, the parade, and everything else. So that was very good. Another thank you I have to say for Roger and initiative, the PSEG initiative, which I participate in a meeting. That went very well, and I'm taking full advantage of it personally in my house and in some investment properties that I have, which they also have a budget for that. So thank you for bringing it up to the attention of the residents of Oradell. Okay. We mentioned before, we started the things with Mr. Tina, who ran. I think it was a great initiative, what he did. He ran. I just want to remind the council that I've been running a few years with a name on the back of my shirt, a name of Sergeant David Solinas, who is from this town, was from this town, grew up in this town, his family is from this town, and has yet to be honored by our town. Okay, 2 months ago, I asked the council to speed up the initiative, the ordinance about the honorary sign, and in the October meeting, they said that the next meeting they'll bring it up. I came over here for the November meeting, and it was not mentioned. I would like the council to take action on that and have this thing ready, because I would like to apply and get honorary sign installed by the date of March 25th, 2025, which will mark 2 years, the second anniversary of the death of Sergeant Salinas. Okay, and I would like to suggest a name for this ordinance. It should be named the DMS ordinance, and the DMS stands for Designated Memorial Sign Initiative. Okay, so I would like you to really consider and push this thing. The other thing that I want to say, I'd like to thank the Oradell parents who brought their kids and sold about 60 pounds, a little increase from last month, 60 pounds of sugary treats from Halloween. Thank you so much. It was my honor to pay them as long as I remove some of the sugar off the streets. And I still have people contacting me about that. So thank you so much. And the last thing, I would just end with my comments about the Narcan initiative that was brought here by the health department last time. I think it's a good initiative to install Narcan, but as I said about my approach, first, you have to tackle the problem. So if the council adopt any initiative about the Narcan installation, boxes installation, I would like them to tie it up to an anti-opioid program that they are going to do along with that Narcan boxes installed, because we need to first take care of the problem before we take care of those who are already in it. So we need to prevent new addictions by having an anti-opioid. It's the same like the homeless program. Any big town that ever tackled the homeless program by providing shelters for program never solved the program. So providing Narcan boxes is not going to solve the problem. Thank you so much for the council for letting me speak here. Thank you and happy holidays.
Thank you, Mr. Katzen. Anyone else for public comment on non-agenda items?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, the councilman. Jonathan Sinos, Habitat for Humanity, Bergen County President. I want to just take this opportunity to thank you what you've done in Oradell and this collective partnership. Two items I just want to bring up for consideration is one is the designation of the property on Reese Avenue as either a low or moderate income family, so we can begin marketing the property. Groundbreaking will commence in January, and we expect it by the summer to have the property completed and a family installed in the house. In addition, there was another communication between the town and Habitat regarding some funds, approximately $25,000 related to the grading of the slope. I'd like to consider that also and continue discussions on that project. Overall, thank you very much for us having the opportunity to build in Oradell as we continue to do, and I hope everyone has a happy holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Paul Tunis, on the
Paul.
Habitat for Humanity.
Paul, you only get one crack at the apple.
Yeah, but I didn't finish all my time. I had plenty of time. I just want to know if
Get a
we're going to have a
second time.
veteran there.
Ask them to vote on it.
You can ask that question. You don't need to do that at the public meeting. I'm sure anybody's happy to try and answer that question, including the president for Habitat. Okay, seeing no other public wishing to comment on non-agenda items, look for a motion to close on non-agenda items.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we will open to public comment on consent agenda items only. We have a motion?
So moved.
We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, motion carries.
Okay, Paul Tunis. Yeah. Resolution 24-281. To approve the Habitat for Humanity in the amount of $250,000. I would hope that we could have a veteran there, placed there with his family. That's really what we're trying to get some people here in Oradell, some veterans, because there are 35,000 veterans that are homeless and in need for their families. And I would like to see this Habitat for Humanity building go to a veteran. And that's what I wanted to say on that. On the other one, 24-268, I'm going to ask a question, and I don't know if you're going to have the answer. It might be for the accountant. I believe that the COA portion of it, which is $2,628.40. I know that COA was disbanded, so why are we still paying them? Is it something that we didn't pay before? Because there is no more COA.
I don't have a bills list in front of me, so I can't answer that. But
Well, it's on the...
we can follow up on that.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I did want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and a Happy Hanukkah to everyone. And whatever, all of the holidays that we have, Kwanzaa, and there's so many others now, I can't remember them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Do you have anybody else from the public for public comment on agenda items only?
Motion to close public comment.
Do we have a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Laura, can you read the correspondence into the record, please?
2 items this evening. Number 1 is the October 2024 Fire Department report. Number 2 is the October 2024 Police Department report.
Thank you. Before us this evening, we have approval of minutes of the meetings of September 24th, October 8th, October 22nd, and November 12th. How would we like to handle? Would we like to approve meeting by meeting in case people have conflicts or need to abstain? Or would you like to do them as a whole?
If you do them as a whole, I always make notice of where abstentions apply, so it's up to
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
however.
Okay. So I will entertain, does anybody have any questions, corrections, comments on the minutes?
For the minutes of 9/24, Laura, I think in the heading it said September 25th, so just
Oh, okay. I'll make note of this.
Yep.
Thank you, Council President. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes for the meetings of September 24th, October 8th, October 22nd, and November 12th of 2024?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Carnaval?
Yes.
Mr. Staff?
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Tachian?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes, except I abstain from September 24th, 2024.
Mr. Gullo?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does any member of the council wish to have an item pulled for further discussion or separate vote? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a roll call, please, Laura.
Sure. Mr. Carnaval?
Yes.
Mr. Staff?
Yes.
Mr. Tachian?
Yes.
Mr. Kern?
Yes.
Mr. Gullo?
Yes.
Ms. Harrer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My report, I'm going to be very brief. I had the pleasure, along with some other members of the council who were able to make it to our annual Christmas tree lighting on Sunday night. And I had not been to that event in quite some time, and I was very pleasantly pleased to see the crowd that was at the event, how involved the community was through our a cappella group at Riverdale, the Girl Scouts with caroling, and Maggie, I think you did an excellent job emceeing the tree lighting ceremony. Thankfully, they worked when they got plugged in. But I think it's really events like that that make our community what it is. And it's something that I think in 2025 we're going to try to continue to advance on how to improve opportunities like this for our community to come together and spend time and be thankful for the things that we have. So I want to thank Tina Duddy and all of the folks, Eric Schuler and the Special Events Committee for our DPW. I'm leaving people out, so I'm at fault when you start mentioning folks. Shame on me, but...
Our police for doing the toy drive.
Our police for conducting their toy drive with the PBA, the fire department for giving their trusted friend Santa a ride, and I'm sure Councilman Gullo may have something to report on when Santa will be coming around town. So I'm not going to steal that thunder, but it's really just a message of thanks, right? It's at that time of the year. I think I spoke about this with the advent of Thanksgiving before us at our last meeting. It's really the time of year to be spending with your family, your loved ones, and your community. Lastly, I want to congratulate Bergen Catholic High School on their winning of another, I believe it's the fourth
in a row,
state championship at MetLife Stadium. I had the privilege to attend the game with my son and some of his friends, You really got to love football to be out on a night like that. It was freezing. But really wonderful to see one of our institutions achieving such recognition throughout the state. And on that, I am going to pass it along to Council President Carnival for administration and ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. There are no ordinances for this evening. The Administration Committee met on December 6th, and many of the items covered at that meeting were discussed during tonight's closed session. We will continue to follow up on all outstanding items. The Planning Board held its regular monthly meeting on Tuesday, December 3rd. There were 2 applications presented, one for a subdivision and the other for a site plan and variance relief. Both applications have been carried over to the January meeting. The next meeting of the board is scheduled for Tuesday, January 7th at 7:30 p.m. The Zoning Board will be holding its final meeting of the year on Monday, December 16th at 7:30 p.m. The Historical Committee met on November 25th and continued their planning discussions to publish 2 photo books of Oradell's history, and there will be more to come on this project. And lastly, the project for updating the train station architectural plans continues to remain on schedule. And that's my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Council President. Public Safety, Emergency Management, Board of Health, Councilman Staff.
Thank you, Mayor. The Public Safety Committee met twice since our last Mayor and Council meeting in November. At our regular monthly meeting, we discussed pedestrian safety, upcoming tree lighting, drones, an update on Bergen Catholic's request for a Class 3 officer, street light bulb replacement with brighter bulbs, and increase in the number of PSE&G pole lights in our business district. We know numerous decorative green lights are out, and we're working with our partners at Public Service to procure and replace those bulbs. Borough Administrator Hines, do you have anything to add from PSE&G at this point?
I have that in my report.
You do? Perfect, thank you. A second meeting was called on Monday, December 2nd, focusing exclusively on one subject, traffic calming in the borough. Chief Wicker, Lieutenants Egg and Gangemi, Sergeant Pressburger, and the committee discussed additional measures to calm traffic further and increase awareness, with public safety being paramount. Pedestrian crosswalks are being ignored by cars going around stopped cars, with pedestrians in the crosswalk. Unfortunately, later that week, we had a pedestrian struck in a crosswalk. The Public Safety Committee is following this daily. I want to thank Chief and the Oradell Police Department for their immediate response in addressing this issue with a multi-layer approach. There's just a reminder to the public that the speed limit in the business district is 25 miles per hour. You must yield to pedestrians in any crosswalk in the borough. Please stay off your phone and be attentive, especially this hectic time of year. I would also like to ask the public for assistance with drone sightings in town. Please report any sightings, especially at or near the reservoir, to Oradell Police Department immediately. Lastly, with the holidays here, please remember to lock your car, home doors and windows, and if you see something suspicious, please call the police to investigate. The Board of Health met last night and discussed the placement of the Narcan boxes in town. The list will be provided to the Borough Administrator for final approval. Our rabies clinic is scheduled in January, with a reminder that rabies licenses are now annual, and a postcard was mailed out to pet owners in November. The November blood drive had to be rescheduled to March, and the meeting dates for 2025 were voted on and approved. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow council members, the borough employees, the police and fire departments for a very productive year, and I wish you all the very best for good health and happiness in 2025. And this concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Staff. Library, environmental beautification, Roger, you know the list goes on.
Absolutely.
Councilman Tastian.
I will also be brief because library meets tomorrow night and environmental meets on Thursday night. But in adding to what Mr. Katzen was talking about, we had a very good meeting with PSE&G at the library about the energy awareness, and I would highly recommend any resident who would like to find a little bit about their house to schedule a energy audit. I actually had one at my house last week, and it's pretty amazing what they do with measuring your insulation and the pressure in the house and they actually pressurize the house so they can make sure your house breathes. And there are plenty of grant opportunities out there if your house is found to be a little deficient. So I'd highly recommend it. And as a bonus, if you submit your front page to the report, you will be put into an opportunity to win a $100 gift certificate for one of the 2 Oradell restaurants.
Nice.
So, and finally, I'm sorry, if you use the word comp as a promo code for Seal Electric, you will actually get it for free instead of paying $99 for your audit. And that concludes my report, other than I'd like to thank Robert Markson of the DPW for his time, and wish everybody in the borough the best of holidays. Please be safe, and let's look forward to a great 2025.
Thank you, Councilman Tashjian. Finance and DPW, Councilman Kern.
Thanks, Mayor. I'll start with DPW. First, I'll, send it over to Dave. I'm sure we're going to talk a lot about the sanitation pipeline break that we had on Garden Place.
Sure. So I'll keep it quick and short. I mean, so the main item to discuss this evening, so there was a sewer blockage on the 18-inch main along Garden Street. Public Works mobilized out there, brought in another company to analyze. They thought there was a blockage. Unfortunately, after further review of it, it was discovered they needed to replace the line from manhole to manhole. The contractor mobilized today to start doing that work. We anticipate having it completed by the end of the week, as long as everything goes in our favor. Sewer service is not interrupted by any of this work that's being taking place. They have bypass pumping in place to ensure that the services you have today are in place. So.
Yeah, and initially the estimate would be around 26,000, and now it's up to 190 estimate. So unfortunate that happens, but it does happen. At least we know where we stand and we have the funds. I talked to our CFO earlier today. Thank you. Okay. All right, so moving on, the DPW met on December 3rd. We spoke about a number of issues. The first topic of discussion was labor. We have on our agenda tonight a new hire. He will start on December 16th. Certainly welcome aboard, and we look forward to working with you. Also, one of our laborers, Rob Markson, who Roger just mentioned, is retiring from the DPW and moving elsewhere. We certainly thank him for his years of tremendous service to our community, and we wish him well on his future endeavors. This also leads us to our committee discussion on filling these open positions within our department. We're finding some difficulty in being competitive around the area market-wise. And we as a committee are open to utilizing a strategy that works in the private sector, which is to sort of, use small upfront sign-on bonuses contingent upon a certain amount of time that an employee will work for our department to meet their obligation. Generally talking about $2,000 over 2 years. More to come on that next year, and perhaps we can have that on for a work session discussion within the next couple of months. Also on our agenda, we approved Phil Manfredonia to the title of Assistant Superintendent. That was long overdue. Congratulations, Phil. I'm glad we got that on the agenda for today. In regards to equipment, we finally put on a resolution for tonight the approval of a fuel tank on a trailer for our department. This will help us be ready to store and pump diesel fuel when we remove our underground tanks as required by the state. We actually got a good quote and a reduced price for the tank to $25.9K. And I'd like to thank our superintendent, Dan, the committee, our mayor, and our borough administrator for getting this done. Just to follow up on those tanks, we did get a little reprieve from the state as we don't have to remove them right away at the end of this year as originally anticipated, we do have a little wiggle room to start that process in early spring. Moving on, the committee briefly talked about the state of our current equipment and what we expect to place on our capital budget for next year. That, of course, is something that we will revisit later as we go into 2025. Also, well, actually, I just mentioned that. Moving on to other news, we had a successful tree lighting event. I'm sure, well, actually, the mayor just mentioned that before, and I'm sure Councilman Gullo will go into that as well. But I certainly would like to take this time to thank the DPW for their work, give them a shout out for helping out and making that a successful event. I'd also like to give a shout out to our crew for the leaf collection they're doing a wonderful job around town. Certainly, I also noticed that they did a great job cleaning up our municipal parking lots. And I asked the residents to please be on the lookout on our website for any further details on times and locations as we come to a close for the last pickups of the season. Which brings me to our winter season as we prepare. Our superintendent has assured me that our salt reserves are well stocked and winter road equipment is already prepared. Moving on to finance, I received from our CFO regarding borough local employer annual pension contributions, those numbers, and I reviewed them. Overall, the contributions minimally decreased, almost 4%, and for public employee retirement plan, there was a small, small decrease of 1.4 for police and fire. Final assessments for the JIF are due next week. I had a discussion with our CFO, and she believes there might be a 4 to 5% increase. That's most likely, but the numbers won't be out until next week, so stay tuned for that. As far as the equipment auction, that came out to a resulted total of $53,462. One item was not sold, everything else was sold. As far as tax collection, there was a 99.3% tax collection rate for the end of the year. That is great news. I'd like to certainly thank our finance department for making sure that they stay on top of that, because that is very important for every budget cycle and our fiscal health. And lastly, overall, nothing else to report as this fiscal year comes to a close, and a large number of accounts were already transferred last month. So pretty much our CFO is getting ready to speak speak with department heads and get those numbers in for next year. And lastly, I would just like to wish the residents of our town a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays overall. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Kern. Fire, Technology, Communications, and Recreation, Councilman Gullo.
Thank you, Mayor. Last night, the Oradell Fire Department proudly celebrated an incredible milestone, 50 years of service to the exact date by ex-Chief Greg Trass. His dedication, leadership, and commitment to the department and community over the past 5 decades is nothing but inspiring. Thank you, ex-Chief Trass, for your remarkable contributions in years of service and of excellence. Switching gears, as mentioned earlier, an annual tradition that everyone in town certainly looks forward to, Santa Sunday is scheduled for Sunday, December 22nd. The trucks will go out starting at 11 o'clock until about 4:30. Certainly if there's inclement weather, they may start a little bit earlier, but certainly listen for the sirens. In terms of technology and communications, one of the things that's been going on under our borough administrator's direction is over the last 3 months, we've been working with our IT service provider, DTM, to look at ways of which we can better work with them, or more importantly, they can better work with us in terms of level of service and cost and value. So Ed and Sam Shin have been successful in identifying certain pain points, I think is a good way to put it. And DTM has been very responsive. It's certainly not permanent, but they've come up with a very nice temporary solution, if you will. Things that are making people who utilize, obviously, our IT services, employees and others, a little bit more comfortable and wanting to get resolution to maybe some of their IT situations or problems. So I want to thank Ed and Sam Shin for tackling that on. By no means are we out of the woods, but at least we've gotten some nice resolution and clarification from DTM. And that kind of transitions to my next comment about the Technology and Communications Committee. We haven't met in a couple months. I think one of the things I wanted to see come to fruition is obviously Ed and Sam's work. So next year we're going to bring in DTM to the committee and talk about other solutions, but more importantly, we do need to address the server issue that has certainly been on top of mind. So I look forward to reorganizing the committee come the first of the year. And the last thing I would just want to thank, as everyone else has, for everyone from a borough employee and staff and volunteer perspective for Sunday. It was a great turnout. I want to thank the Ceylon family for donating the nativity scene. It's a nice addition. And so happy holidays to everyone, and looking forward to a prosperous 2025. Oh, one more thing. Sorry. Thank you, Roger. Last but certainly not least, the senior dinner is upcoming. It is Thursday, December 18th at the Riverdale High School, starting at 4 p.m. And I have been instructed by Tina, no early birds. 4 p.m. Oh, Wednesday's the 18th. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Thank you, Paul. Got my days mixed up. That's it. Is it Thursday?
Yeah, I have them.
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Thanks, Paul.
You guys need a minute to figure that out, or are you good?
It's Wednesday.
Actually, I got a question. The menorah lighting is the 29th, right?
It is scheduled for the 29th. We moved it up a day. The rabbi was able to accommodate. Is it Wednesday?
Okay. Municipal Drug Alliance, Stigma Free, Oradell for All, and OPTV. Councilwoman Harrer.
Thank you. I want to join everyone in thanking everyone involved with the tree lighting. It was amazing. And I particularly want to call out the Riverdale Marching Band and Color Guard and the Hawkettes, who sang wonderful music for us, and the lovely Girl Scouts, many of them very small, who sang Christmas carols with us. And, of course, OPTV, who turned out to video the whole affair. So thank you, everybody. Tina did a wonderful job, as always. And I also want to call out the Oradell Special Effects that organized the snow falling from the balcony. I thought that was especially extraordinary and a great idea. OPTV has been keeping up their normal great service. I urge people to go on the borough website and go on the OPTV page and see what they have running. It's really an extraordinary little mini television station that we have right here in Oradell. It's our very own. They've updated some equipment. They repaired a camera that had stopped working, and so they're going to keep at the very same high level. Municipal Drug Alliance, Stigma Free, and Oradell for All have not been meeting, much to my disappointment. I would urge citizens who are interested in any of those to please volunteer. Again, you can go on the Oradell Borough website, and there's a place for you to volunteer and fill out a form. And it's a wonderful thing to do, and you start to touch base with being in touch with other Oradell citizens. And so I highly, highly recommend it. And that's my report for tonight.
Thank you, Maggie.
We thank you for your service. It's your last meeting.
Can we work with OPTV to? I know we get all our meetings on the YouTube channel that we created. Can we work to get these ancillary events there as well? I think they
are, but I will work with them, absolutely.
Awesome.
I know Nick said that everything they do, they're trying to put on YouTube and on their own website. So let me see what I can do about that.
Thank you very much. Borough Administrator's report. Mr. Hines.
Thank you. First, a resident asked about the kitchen. We were fortunate to get full funding for our request for 2024, the amount of $81,240. The DPW superintendent has reached out to a kitchen designer because it's got to be perfect. So we're all going to wait to be able to use that once the new kitchen's installed. At the last meeting, the mayor mentioned the darkness of Kinderkamak Road as a safety issue. As a result of that, a call was made to the Public Service Electric and Gas representative. The problem actually is there's two facets to this problem. The first is the lights that are provided by Public Service, which we pay for, that are on telephone poles. The luminosity is not sufficient. So they did go out and they discovered, because we're concentrating primarily on Kinderkamak Road at this point, given all the activity on that road, they did replace some of the lights that were extinguished. Secondly, after a conversation with the government affairs representative, Danette Verley, I was called by the representative from the outdoor lighting division. They're going to come in early next year and make a review of lighting on Kinderkamak Road to increase the luminosity. That means LED lighting. We will, of course, pay an extra fee for that. However, the benefit is safety. The next issue are the decorative lights. If anybody has seen them, they don't provide much illumination. Public Service explained to me in the recent past they sent out experts and there is nothing they can do to increase the luminosity. And they're quite expensive to replace. So, one, if anybody's been to the city of Hackensack recently on Main Street, you'll notice they have pretty nice looking decorative lights with great illumination. So I've spoken to the planner of Hackensack, and he's going to call back with that information. Now, as we know, it's going to be quite expensive, so I have emailed our grants writer. Can you look for grants that apply to safety, street safety? Because there aren't many grants that are going to say, I want a prettier light, but they would favorably review a grant application for pedestrian safety. So I'm waiting for results from that. So I think the borough is moving as quickly as they can, and I think early next year we're going to have more tangible reports to give about what progress we've made.
Ed, I have a what should be not shocking comment on the lights. I'm all supportive of trying to find newer, more targeted lights that can give us a greater illumination on the ground for pedestrian and vehicular safety. PSE&G needs to change the bulbs in the existing lights, or I will coerce the council to hire an electrician to do it and take it off the bill that we pay PSE&G for monthly service. Let's start with changing the light bulbs. Okay. I am 100% supportive of moving in a new direction with how do we provide better lighting to the downtown. We have to fix what we have first. I started this year talking about this. You have been extremely attentive to this, and I thank you for your efforts with PSE&G. But I'm losing my cool with PSE&G's inability to go buy light bulbs. This is not a complex fix. The lights are terrible. The technology is 30 years old. So let's deal with what we can right now, because it just may save a life.
Mr. Mayor, I wanted to add one more thing. I think it's been mentioned, and Councilman Gullo mentioned it, but please come out for the menorah lighting on December 29th. That's going to be a lovely event. We'll look to see you then.
Thank you.
Mayor, can I ask one question? If you don't.
I was just going to be funny for a minute and say, those light bulbs will be lit.
Yeah, they'll work.
For sure.
And another angle to look at for lighting is making the transition to LED. There's money out there for making light bulbs like that LED. So there's another opportunity to maybe find some money to help make some of those changes. I mean, for example, our basketball courts, if you remember, we got some lights there. They were $35,000. But with the grants, I think it cost us a whopping $22 or something.
$2 a bulb or something
Yeah.
like that. It was crazy.
So I think that's another angle to pursue. If we could ask the grant writers to pursue that also. Just obviously anywhere we can find something, let's take advantage of it.
Was that a grant or through like a lighting program? I think it was a lighting program.
Well, then let's get into that program.
I don't know if they do the decorative lights, but obviously the court lighting I know, because we're working with them on another municipality for courts.
If you know more about that, if you could look into what that opportunity.
I'll see if there's something.
All right, thank you.
Ed, you done?
Thank you.
Okay. Borough Attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Briefly, since the last meeting, I met with our planner and special legal counsel regarding the affordable housing issues that we are facing, and we're in the process of trying to schedule a meeting with the full committee of the Affordable Housing Committee. We were shooting for this Thursday, however, not everyone's schedule's worked out, so we're hopefully getting that done within the next week. I just also want to remind everybody, our legal counsel in the lawsuit filed what's called an order to show cause to enjoin the enforcement of the pending law. That is going to be heard by Judge Luigi on December 20th at 10 a.m. I don't have it yet, but the court is going to circulate a Zoom link, and the judge also said if it's easier, it may be live streamed, which once we get that, I will share with everyone, and the public. It's a public proceeding, so everyone's permitted to observe. You can't participate; only the attorneys of record can. But that's a big day, December 20th at 10 a.m. And then just real quick, Councilman Kern, I happened to be at the budget meeting for the JIF on November 25th, and the increase is 4.8%. So you're right on the money. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Bill. Before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I do want to make note and let the public know that Borough Hall will be closing at 11:45 tomorrow for the day. While it is posted that we may be having some employee development, one of the things I made a paramount initiative when I rejoined the council, and the council, I want to thank them for their support in this, is to try and make a culture for our employees where they feel valued and where they enjoy coming to work here and they put their best foot forward every day. So tomorrow we're closing Borough Hall a little early so that they can enjoy their holiday lunch, and it's well deserved. It's not fair sometimes when we ask them to step away from a moment. We want them to enjoy themselves, to head to the window to address a resident or take a payment or so forth. So I apologize for the inconvenience, but it's something that to me and the council is very important, that they have a little bit of time to themselves to enjoy themselves for the holiday season. And here are thanks for the good work that they do for us day in and day out. And I'll just close and not be too repetitive, but this is our last meeting prior to the end of the year. A Sinai Day will be held on Sunday, January 5th, where this council will meet once more to conclude its business for the year, and then to have our reorganization meeting where we swear in Councilman re-elect Roger Tastian and Councilman-elect Tom Kelly, who's making a return to the council. So I wanted to wish those out there a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays to all. Thank you to the council for all the support that you have provided to the town for the year, and the council and support that you've provided to me in this role. It really, truly is a team effort, and I wanted to say thank you to everybody for that. And with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I so move.
We're going to adjourn to the Sinai Day meeting.
Adjourn to the Sinai Day. Yeah, just for the record.
So just to correct.
Adjourn.
Yes.
I move we adjourn to the Sinai
Second.
Day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Michael?
You do it, Whoops. I went to the side. I done.
You as well.